how to source mulch, plants, cardboard for a food forest installation. Now this series is about how to do a food forest installation business. So this is part like 13 or something in a full series, but this applies to anyone wanting to build a food forest. So we're going to talk about what kind of mulch first, and then we'll get into cardboard and plants. So starting off with mulch, the best kind of mulch for a food forest, for market gardening, even in general, is radial wood chips. These are the trimmings from a certain part of the tree, generally small branches, and these are going to be very high in nutrients. Now, any kind of wood chip, any kind of part of the tree is going to work. A lot of twigs, leaves, small branches mixed in is actually a good thing. This is going to be higher nutrients, quickly decomposing organic matter, and that kind of stuff, as opposed to a bunch of hardwood, hard pieces of wood. They're going to take a while to decompose. They're going to have a less diverse set of nutrients, and they're going to be less nutrient dense. So you want those kinds of wood chips. But you can just accomplish this by getting a variety of wood chips. Now, what really matters is that the wood chips are not polluted. So you want to be getting wood chips from tree clipping. If you get wood chips from tree clipping, you're almost guaranteed to be getting a variety of things. Now, what you need to watch out for is call them up, ask if they trim trees that have certain diseases. In general, this probably won't be an issue, but you can do this. I would just say for the trees that you're planting, go ahead and research if diseases would be an issue for the trees you're planting in the food forest. In general, that is not going to be an issue. Now, you don't want to use some kind of recycled wood product that could have paint, any kind of pollution in it. You don't want to be getting wood from somewhere where they're spraying pesticides. But overall, with tree clippings, it's going to be a company, a city, often trimming trees that are near power lines. And so this isn't something you need to worry about terribly much. Just get a good source of wood chips, and you can get this for free. In a lot of places, they will dump it into a large pile somewhere. For bigger projects, you can even get in touch with the company, and when they trim trees in your area, they'll go give you a full load. They just need to get rid of this stuff, and especially cities will give it away for free. Otherwise, you can get by the yard pretty good prices on wood chips. So that's all there is to say. A lot of it's kind of vague, but really you want to find a source of wood chips and then do individual research into that individual source of wood chips / mulch. Bags of leaves, you could use bags of leaves. Just make sure there's no trash, pick through them, because some people will just rake up their yard and have a bunch of pieces of trash that just get into the bag of leaves. But leaves actually decompose into what's called leaf mold. It's a really great form of compost. So yeah, you've got your wood chips. As far as cardboard goes, I don't recommend cardboard. There are a lot of dyes. If you get cardboard that has dyes, get something with a soy-based dye if possible. This generally sounds ridiculous, but if you can find a mass source of one kind of cardboard, and you can find that it's a soy, not petroleum-based dye, that's going to be pretty good. The thing with cardboard is when you lay it out to sheet mulch, and this is within the context of sheet mulching. Now, we've already gone over in this series that you will be sheet mulching, which involves a layer of cardboard, but really you have to do a lot of overlap. I find it's a lot better to just get a roll of cardboard builder's paper and look at the ingredients. You don't want it to be waxed or some kind of nonsense like that. You want just plain tree product cardboard, and then you can just unroll it over wherever you're going to be planting the food forest. Unroll it, overlap it with each strip, but it's not like a cardboard where there's just a bunch of holes on each side of every little piece for stuff to get through. So you put down the builder's paper, you got your mulch. Now we're going to be talking about sourcing plants. So I source my plants from a couple nurseries. Definitely go to different nurseries and compare prices. If you're going to be doing this as a business, which is what this series is about, or even if you're just doing your own small food forest, go compare prices, because there is a lot of variation. And you might do better to find some places for certain types of plants, some places for other types of plants. If you are doing this as a business, and now this is something I've been doing, excuse me, for the last 5 months, I go to different nurseries. And one nursery has this deal where if you buy over $1,000 worth of stuff, which I think I did this year, I just didn't know about it in time, you get 20% off. So I'm definitely going to either sign up for that next year or just go to the parent nursery that actually sells to all the different local nurseries and see if I can get bulk orders there. If I have enough food forests scheduled, it might make sense for me to actually become my own little nursery and get things in bulk. So as far as sourcing plants goes, you can often just find the main source of plants by going to the label that's on the plants in the local nurseries. Now, I'm lucky to be in a city where there are different native plant nurseries around that are just dedicated to, not just, but they're largely or just, depending on the one, dedicated to native plants, to gardening, to stuff like this, to pollinator things. And yeah, we're just going to leave it at that for this video. That's how you source mulch, cardboard, and plants. You can do cuttings of different plants from different people. And yeah, that's about it. As far as seeds, I would recommend buying the seeds online. If you're going to be buying a bulk native flower seed packet, you want to get a big bag, buy it in bulk if you're going to be doing a lot of these. A lot of the local stores will have outrageous prices for seeds. All right, peace.